Having understood the basics of semiconductors and about current flow in semiconductors, let us discuss on p-n junction. Consider a semiconductor crystal doped with p region on one side and n region on other side. The boundary between the p-type and n-type region form the junction called p-n junction or p-n junction diode. The physical structure is shown on the slide. External metal contacts are made from P region and N region, which constitute the diode terminals, namely anode and cathode. Let us understand about the operation of this junction diode in two different conditions. First, on open circuit condition, that is when the terminals are left open, anode and cathode are left open. And second, biased condition, that is when a DC voltage is applied between the terminals. The process of applying DC voltage to the terminals of the device is called as biasing a device. So first let us discuss on an unbiased p-n junction diode, that is when the terminals are left open. The physical structure shows the majority charge carriers holes on p-type semiconductor and the majority charge carriers free electrons on the n-type semiconductor. Okay. Now for better understanding, the small circled minus represents the trivalent atom on the p side, whereas a small circled plus symbol represents the pentavalent atom on the n side. That is, the trivalent atoms on accepting one electron becomes negatively charged ions. Similarly, on p side, the pentavalent atoms on losing an electron becomes positively charged ions. Now, the concentration of free electrons is more on n side and the concentration of holes are more on the p side. Now, due to diffusion, due to this concentration gradient, the diffusion process begins. As free electrons, they cross the junction and occupy the holes on the p side, resulting in recombination of electron-hole pair. Since recombination takes place, the region close to the junction is completely depleted of free electrons and contains immobile charge carriers. So these immobile ions gets aligned towards the junction. So junction will have a structure which is completely depleted of the free electrons, and this region is called carrier depletion region or depletion region. The ions on p side and n side, it creates an electric field with negative polarity on the p side and positive polarity on the n side, as shown in the figure. This difference of potential is called as barrier potential. At room temperature, the barrier potential equals approximately 0.3 volt for germanium and 0.7 volt for silicon diodes. So on summary, an open circuited p-n junction diode has got a depletion region at the junction, and it has got a barrier potential of 0.7 volt for silicon and 0.3 volt for germanium. The next condition is biased condition. So first let us connect a positive terminal of the battery to the p-type semiconductor and negative terminal of the supply to the n-type semiconductor. Under this condition, when voltage is slightly greater than 0, the free electrons get sufficient energy from the applied voltage and they tries to cross the junction by drifting. When the voltage is above 0.7 volt, more free electrons acquire energy and try to cross the junction. Once when the voltage is greater than 0.7 volt, applied voltage is greater than 0.7, slowly the depletion region will be eliminated, so allowing more free electrons to cross the junction. So as a result, there will be a large continuous current flowing in the circuit from p side to n side. Now this condition is called as forward biasing condition, or the diode is called as said to be forward biased. The second, another condition in biased diode, the negative terminal of the battery is connected to the p-type material and positive terminal of the battery is connected to the n-type material. Under this condition, the holes are attracted towards the negative terminal of the battery, and free electrons are attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery. So as a result, the holes and free electrons flow away from the junction. So due to this, the depletion region gets wider. The minority charge carriers available in p-type and n-type regions, that is the electrons in p-type and holes in n-type, they acquire sufficient energy from the applied voltage and they drift and contributes to a drift current here. But the magnitude of the current will be very small, and this current that flows in under this condition is called as saturation current. The reason why it is called as saturation is that the minority charge carriers are limited in the P and N regions. So the magnitude of current will almost be a constant irrespective of changes in your supply voltage. So that is why it is called as saturation current. The direction of current will be from N side to P side. So it is also called as reverse saturation current. An applet is shown here, which depicts the above explanations. So you can see that for 0 volt, none of the charge carriers cross the junction. When the voltage is less than 0, that is in negative reverse bias condition, the width of the depletion region widens and no free electrons cross the junction. Then above 0 volt, in the positive case, few electrons cross the junction, and once if the voltage is more than 0.7, slightly increasing, so the depletion region is completely eliminated at the junction and there is no barrier for the free electrons to cross the junction, free electrons and holes to cross the junction. Yeah, thank you. In this session, you will learn about the characteristics of an ideal PN junction diode. Many applications like signal processing, generation of DC voltage from AC power supply, and generation of signals of various waveforms, namely sinusoidal, square waves, pulses, all these can be implemented only by nonlinear circuit elements. The simplest and most fundamental nonlinear circuit element is a diode. Diode is a two-terminal device, as we discussed in the previous session, the terminals being anode and cathode, as shown in the figure. For better understanding, let us begin our discussion with ideal diode element. Consider a diode shown here. Now, with relative to the reference direction shown here, consider a negative voltage is applied to the diode. You recollect our discussion in the previous session. What happens when negative voltage is applied to the diode? The diode will be reverse biased. Once the diode is reverse biased, the depletion region widens and no current flows through the diode. So to summarize, the diode behaves as an open circuit and no current flows through the diode. Diode operated in this mode are said to be in cutoff or off condition. Now, if a positive voltage is applied to the diode, I hope you remember the discussion. When a positive voltage is applied, the depletion region narrows down, allowing current to flow through the diode. So the diode behaves as a short circuit, passing current to flow through the diode. Now the diode is said to be forward biased or it is just turned on. Let us discuss the IV or VI characteristics of a diode. The IV characteristics of a diode is plotted between the current and voltage under two operating conditions, forward biased and reverse bias. IR and VR in quadrant 3 represents the reverse bias, whereas IF and VF in the first quadrant represents the forward bias. An ideal diode, being an open switch in reverse bias condition, it offers high resistance. Since it's open switch, it offers very high resistance, ideally infinite. And the drop across the diode will be the voltage that has been applied across the terminals. So V is the reverse voltage applied across the terminals, and I is equal to 0, and the resistance is infinite. When it is forward biased, so this is a characteristic that has been plotted. So current is 0, and the drop V is nothing but the applied reverse voltage. When it is forward biased, it behaves as a closed switch. So almost the resistance is 0, allowing the current to flow through the diode. And the drop across the diode will be exactly 0. As the resistance is 0, the drop across the diode will be 0. So that is drawn here. The current is high, positive, and the voltage across the drop across the diode is 0. Yeah. So to be more specific, let us discuss how it is applicable in a circuit. So consider a circuit with a positive DC voltage is applied to the diode through a resistance R, and an ammeter is connected for your understanding. Now, when can we say a diode to be forward biased? When the anode is more positive than cathode, then the diode is said to be forward biased. I repeat, when the anode is more positive than the cathode, then the diode is said to be forward biased. So in both the cases, the anode is positive when compared to the cathode, so the diode is forward biased. So the current I is not equal to 0, so current is greater than 0, and the value of current depends upon the value of the resistance and the value of the applied DC voltage. Yeah. Reverse bias diode, so same circuit condition, the diode direction is reversed here. The diode is said to be reverse biased when the cathode is more positive than anode. I repeat, the diode is said to be in reverse bias condition when the cathode is more positive than the anode. So the current through current in the circuit is 0, and the drop across the diode is exactly equal to the applied voltage V in the circuit. Now let us find the current through the circuit. Yeah. So the voltage V in applied voltage is 10 volt, and the resistance involved is 1 kilo ohm. Now what is the current through the diode, and what is the drop across the diode? Now the current through the diode is found by V by R. So 10 volt divided by 1 kilo ohm. So the current will be equal to 10 milliampere. Now what is the voltage? The diode is forward biased, so it offers 0 resistance. The drop across the diode will be 0. Consider the second circuit. The diode direction is reversed here. Voltage is 10 and the resistance involved is 1 kilo ohm. Now what is the current through the circuit? Now the current through the diode is 0 because the diode is reverse biased, so it is completely open circuit. So there is no current flow in the open circuit. So the current I equal to 0, but the drop across the diode is equal to the applied voltage, that is 10 volt. Yes, now let us see a couple of circuit connections. This is one way of representing the circuit. A closed circuit on the left-hand side is represented by the supply voltage 10 volt is represented with an arrowhead here, and you have followed by a resistance, then followed by a diode. Exactly the same way how it is connected in the closed circuit. And the output is taken from the anode of the diode. So here again it is taken from the anode of the diode. So in the forthcoming slides, we'll be using the circuits only in this sort. Okay, and the next slide, You have two problems are given to you. Solve the problems for the current and voltage values in the circuit. I'll meet you in the next session. Thank you.